Hey, Jessica, good to see you.
Well, Robert, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager, gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Look, Jessica, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
Yes, I do. I certainly do.
Well, I never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names. And then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you their names, but you know, strange as it may seem, they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names like Dizzy Dean and
His brother Daffy?
Daffy Dean.
And their French cousin,
French?
Goofy.
Goofy Dean. Oh, I see. Well, let's see. We have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know who's on third.
Well, that's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know who's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
And you're going to be the coach too?
Yes.
And you don't know the fellows' names?
Well, I should.
Well, then who is on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who's on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
And I'm telling you, that's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it?
That's who?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a first baseman.
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
Absolutely.
So when you pay off the first baseman each month, who gets the money?
Absolutely. Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money?
He does every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
And why not? The man's entitled to it.
Who is?
Absolutely. And what's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign the contract?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign it?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the name of the guy on first base?
No. What's on second base?
I'm not asking who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the players around.
I ain't changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
Look, all I'm asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No. What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about him. Now let's get back to first base.
How did I get on third base?
Well, you mentioned his name.
I mentioned the third baseman's name. Who did I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third base again. Look, will you stay on third base and don't go off of it?
All right, what do you want to know?
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
No, what's on second?
You don't want who on second.
No, who is on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Okay, look, you got an outfield.
Sure, we have a great outfield.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I would ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who is playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking who's on second.
No, who is on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Okay. And the left fielder's name.
Why?
Because.
No, he's center field. Well, that's the fella's name.
Look. You got a pitcher.
Sure, we wouldn't have a team without a pitcher.
Okay, the pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today.
I'm telling you then.
Well, go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
At what time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
No, listen. Who's not pitching? Who's
I'm
on?
going to break your arm if you say who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third
Third
base.
Look, you got a catcher?
Of course, we got a catcher.
Okay, the catcher's name.
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's pitching.
Now you got it.
All we got is a couple days on the team. You know, I'm a catcher too.
So they tell me.
I get behind the plate and I do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team and a heavy hitter gets up.
Yes.
Okay, now the heavy hitter bunts the ball. And when he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I go up, I get the ball, and I want to throw out the guy at first base. So I pick up the ball and I throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
Is throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
Okay. So if I get the ball and I throw it to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Okay. Who?
Naturally.
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 Okay. So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball to first base.
So who gets it?
Naturally.
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
No, you're not saying that.
I pick up the ball, I throw it to naturally.
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
Listen, you asked me.
Okay. Okay. I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you asked me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you.
You just change them around.
Same as you. I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball. The guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball? Throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. I don't know. Throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Yes.
Another guy gets up and it's a long fly. A long fly to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third and I don't give a darn.
Oh, what?
I said, I don't give a darn.
That's our shortstop. Thanks for watching Reader's Theater. Join us next month when we'll bring you another production.
Bye, all.
Most people are familiar with vaccines and how they offer individual immunity against a disease, but they might not understand how the people around us or our herd offers immunity to everyone in the herd. A herd is a group of mammals that are living together for protection, maybe protection against lions in Africa or wolves in North America. But how does that apply to humans and disease? Well, let me show you a little model I put together. So we have these individuals in a herd, and let's say one of them gets sick, and the infection rate of this disease is 50%. There's a 50% chance you could pass that on to another individual. So this person is in close contact with 1, 2, 3 individuals, and so I simply flipped a coin. Heads, you get sick; tails, you don't, and 2 of the people got sick. I then took those individuals and flipped coins for the people around them, and this person, for example, infected 1 individual, and this person infected 2. And then I just kept doing that over and over and over, and you can see how the disease spread through the population. Now, how quickly a disease spreads through a population is based on how many people you can infect, and we call this the basic reproduction number. What is that? Well, for this individual, they infected 2. this person infected 1, this person infected 2, this person infected 0. And if I take a number of those individuals and find their average, that's going to be my basic reproduction number, or R naught. If R naught is ever less than 1, in other words, you can infect at least one other person, then the disease dies out. But if you've ever heard of a disease, that means its R naught value is going to be greater than 1. And here's some R naught values for some diseases you might be familiar with. So the recent outbreak of Ebola, R naught value 1.5 to 2.5, smallpox 5 to 7. But some diseases like measles and whooping cough, the R naught value might be as great as 18. That's because it's an airborne transmission. And so what happens after you get a disease? Well, you get sick. And in some diseases, you might even die. But if you know anything about animals, we can gain immunity to that disease. Once we've got the disease, we're not going to get the same disease again unless it mutates highly. And so what these people with immunity do is they offer protection to everyone else within the herd. So let's see that disease comes in again and it starts to spread through a certain part of the population. Well, the rest of the population can't get it because these people with immunity offer a fire break or a firewall against that disease spreading into the population. And so once our herd gets large enough like this, even though a lot of people don't have individual immunity, they have herd immunity. So let's say a person like this comes in who's sick. They're surrounded by so many individuals who are immune that the disease can't spread to those who are susceptible. And so the problem with this is you have to get sick, or you have to have members of your population die for you to get this herd immunity. But science has come up with a solution to that. It's called the vaccine. We give you a weakened or a dead version of that disease, and then you can gain immunity to it. And so that's wonderful. And you might think, let's go back to that model again. Let's simply vaccinate everybody. If we vaccinate everybody, everybody has immunity. But we can't vaccinate everybody because it's a voluntary process to get vaccinated. Some people don't want to. You shouldn't get like a measles vaccine if you're a baby or you're a pregnant female. And then as you get older, you may lose some of this immunity. So not everybody can be vaccinated. It just simply doesn't work that way. And so what scientists have come up with is a herd immunity threshold. What does that mean? It's how good is good enough? What percent of our population do we have to have vaccinated or immune to the disease so we all get this herd immunity? Well, it's going to depend on the R naught value of the disease. So if it's something like mumps with an R naught value of 4 to 7, we have to have at least 75 to 86% of the population who is immune, so the whole herd can gain immunity. But as those R naught values get greater and greater and greater, like 18 in measles, we have to have 94% of the individuals immune. And so as people decide not to get vaccinated, what's going to happen? We lose that herd immunity, and we're going to have outbreaks of disease.